Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today we have a special guest on the show, a brother a lot of you know, a voice that's been a voice in the black community for 2 generations, a voice that's been heard throughout the Houston area and throughout all around the world. This voice has been on the front line if we're dealing with Chad Holly. This voice has been on the front line in helping solving the case of Malia Davis. You know this voice, and I am pleased to have this voice and the man behind the voice here on Verbal Pick Radio. I'd like to welcome to the show, Brother Quanell X. Welcome to the show, brother.
Good morning, dear brother. Let me first extend the greetings. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you and your listening audience and those who help you put the great show on for the people that you have. It is indeed an honor, and words are not adequate to express my thanks and gratitude on behalf of myself and the new Black Panther Nation to speak to your listening audience and to speak to my brother this morning.
Yes, sir. Now, what I'd like to get into is your early history and the rise of this movement and actually the revolutionary spirit that you have. Now, according to my understanding, you were born into this. I was hearing that your family members was a member of the Nation of Islam in the first rise.
Yes, sir. My father and mother were both registered followers and members of the Nation of Islam and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was born into the Nation of Islam from the womb of my mother by the seed of my father, who were active student members of the Nation of Islam. I, my brother Quincy, and my little brother Saladin Quentin, he was born in the Nation of Islam also. So my beginnings came through an activist family for black people under the program of Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
So that's where you get that passion and that love for your people. See, what people fail to realize, when you born into a movement such as the Nation of Islam, then you have a passion that people can't describe, because your spirit and your soul won't let you sell out and bow down, because it's embedded within you. And we appreciate that spirit. And the reason being is the fact that after the untimely death of George Floyd, and we see what's going on today, I wanted to bring you on the show because a lot of people was like, well, where is Brother Quanell? They was asking for you. But what people have to understand is it's almost like it's 2 mindsets that's always at play when you're dealing with the liberation of black people. You're going to have some that's going to stand strong and want to see justice, but then you got other bought-off paid Negroes whose job is to come and put everybody back to sleep. So, Brother Quan, how can we not let the ones that want to put us to sleep and change the narrative?
Let me say this, brother. On the day that Brother George Floyd passed, I had just come back home from the hospital and ordered to make sure I stayed put. I had been sick for several days before that. And the condition that I had been fighting had come to the point to where I had to stay in-house. I could not leave the doctor's orders and do any speaking or any protesting. I could not do anything publicly because the medication that I was on, I was not to be exposed to so much sunlight. Yes, sir. Now, I'm going deep into what I'm saying, and I don't like that because that's a private matter for my family and I.
Yes, sir.
But when people were asking, where's Quanell? Why he ain't said nothing? Why he ain't said nothing? And I was literally fighting for my very physical survival. And I got on the phone with my doctors and said, listen, the people are asking me. My people need guidance. My people want to know where is their brother. And the doctor was saying, Quanell, we can't give you permission to go out right now. And I finally got that permission on Monday, this past Monday. And when I got the permission, I tested my health on Tuesday, and I let the brothers know on Wednesday we're moving forward no matter what. We put the flyer out there on Monday that I would hold a rally on Wednesday. And I had made contingency plans in case my illness got more severe for my sons to speak on my behalf. Mm-hmm. The sad part about it is my sons and daughters had been attending other George Floyd marches on my behalf because their father was not physically able to do so.
Right.
But I was being condemned and I was being vilified by the ignorance of my own brothers and sisters who, at least with the track record of your brother, should give him benefit of the doubt and find out what's going on with your brother.
Right.
It is. I've been an activist since I was 21 years old. Right. I am now 49. And, brother, I've stood in this city when nobody else would stand.
Facts.
Over and over again. I faced the Ku Klux Klan in 3 separate marches when brothers in the hood told me I was crazy. Mainstream Negroes told me I better stay home and don't go. I've stood against the Klan on 3 separate marches and confronted those devils face to face.
That's right.
I'm the same man, brother, that when they executed our brother Shaka Sankofa, Gary Graham in Huntsville, I went with the brothers and the guns to fight that execution.
That's right.
I'm the same man.
That's right.
In 1998, when they dragged James Byrd Jr.
That's right.
And dragged his brother, white supremacist, and tore his brother's body apart, I went to Jasper by myself in the beginning to fight them crackers. Mm-hmm. Then I went back the second time with Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, my longtime mentor and teacher in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, peace be upon you.
I'm the same man just 3 years ago when the 90-year-old black woman was raped in her home. We went with the brothers and with the guns and told the people, if we find a Negro who did it, let's not call 911. Let's hold jury and court right here in the streets. Brother, it's sad that if a man got sick and your people are not intelligent enough to find out what's going on with their brother, you start condemning your brother out of ignorance. Now, I'm going to show you something. Mm-hmm. I haven't said this. I'm going to say this now. So when I decided to hold a rally this past Wednesday, I had 2 members of the media call me and tell me, we heard you're bringing guns out at the rally. If you bring guns, we cannot show your rally. I said, you mean to tell me that just a couple of weeks ago when Trump told his supporters to protest the reopening of these states and challenge these governors that would not reopen these states, they went and challenged them in protest with bulletproof vests and assault rifles? But all you white folks showed that in the media. But because a black man now is organizing black men and women to put guns in their hands for the self-defense of black people in the black community, you don't want to put that on TV.
Correct. See, well, Brother Quan, this is what I believe, that the fires and the destruction of some of these properties, and they're not just in black neighborhoods, they going out to rich, affluent neighborhoods, is because they want to silence that revolutionary spirit in the people, and they can't hold it anymore, and they releasing that up on society. See, they don't understand what they're creating. The generation been listening to a voice like yours for 2 generations, and they understand the desire of the freedom that they want. But then you got other oppressors who putting that weight on them, telling them that they can't release the frustration over all these police brutality cases, not just here in Houston, Texas, and you were there with Sandra Bland as well. And and throughout America, now they so frustrated because they tired of seeing the Toms and the bootlickers and the go along to get along brothers. They fed up with that, and then you trying to tell them that they can't listen to Brother Quan because the media will go out and try to spin it and create a negative narrative against a brother who's been standing for Houston since I can remember. Since I seen you on first time I seen you back in the day on Fox 26 at the untimely death of your brother. And when I heard you, I said, "Well, who is this? Who is this brother?" And my partners from the South Side were like, "Oh man, that's Quan. Quan to go off." You know what I'm saying? And then I was fortunate enough to meet you later on in life. But what I'm saying is, when you try to suppress a voice of freedom, and the youth are waking up and they hearing the call, it causes an explosion throughout the community. Can you tell or give some guidance to keep the revolutionary spirited minded brothers not to fall for the same old trick?
What hurt me more than some of the slander coming my way about where is Quanell, they were saying the same thing about the man who saved my life, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
The unmitigated gall and the audacity to question a man who's been on the front line for black people without compromise or fear for 65 years.
Yes, sir.
And now he's blue in the face about what needs to be done to stop police misconduct and brutality. And you mean to tell me y'all gonna question that man?
Right.
About where is he? Where the hell have you been?
That's right. You gonna
what
get
have
up
you
and
done?
They gonna get up and talk about marches, but you don't mention the Million Man March?
Right, brother. Right, brother. And so that's why we have to have young people, young brothers and sisters who are avid students of the history in leadership. Because if you don't know your history, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you're predestined to repeat it.
Right.
We need our young people to not just be Google researchers. We need you to do the research directly with your elders and get the real information firsthand. If you are a young leader, seek out your elders to talk with them. Seek out your elders to speak with them, because some of you are attempting to reinvent the wheel when that's already been done. But if you learn from them and you question them, then implement what God has helped given you for our people, then you can move us forward in a manner that we may not have made that progress yet. But please, don't you dare try to question men that have given their life to the liberation and salvation of black people.
Facts. Yeah, when you do certain things like that, all you're doing is giving fuel to your enemies' fire, because they want disunity. They are the masters at divide and conquer.
And when you look at the prominent faces surrounding the George Floyd movement right now, some of those most prominent faces are straight up handkerchief head, boot licking, scared to death, will put us back and let the pick cotton Negro leaders.
Facts.
Who would not give a damn about George Floyd if the cities wasn't on fire?
Facts.
If the cities wasn't on fire, you couldn't hear a rat piss on cotton from any of those so-called leaders.
Come on, I'm telling those.
And so to those who,
yes, sir.
To those who talking about peaceful protest this and peaceful protest that, look, stop talking to us about peace. Go talk to white folks about peace.
Right.
Go talk to the cops about peace. It ain't the people that need to be told about being peaceful with the cops. And we've always been peaceful with the cops. That's why they're not dead now.
That's right. Facts.
But tell them to be peaceful with us.
Right. Yeah. You giving the message to the wrong people. I have not yet, and that's another reason, brother, we want to get into why I brought you on the show, because I have not yet heard city officials or public leaders come with an actual solution to the race problem in America and what they're going to do to solve it, and what point step program that they have to make sure this thing goes away. You know, I'm looking at the on the Ahmaud Arbery case when they shot him dead. The dude called him a nigger after he shot him dead. You know, and they say, okay, yo, I understand there's a lot of white people out there protesting, but still, what can be done to make sure we don't go down this road again?
There are a lot of very young white people out there protesting. The same way they were out there protesting with Dr. King. But them same white folks that protest with Dr. King, many of them became leaders in the Republican Party just 20 years later. So, them same good white folks that are out there protesting with us, remember, they going back home to the suburbs, relaxing and chilling without a problem. Right. Why don't you mobilize good white people who care about justice? Mobilize them protest in your neighborhoods. And let me see you spray paint tag things in your neighborhood and burn out houses in your neighborhood. Then I'll believe you're really compassionate about how you feel about justice for black people. Because you come over here with us, you help us burn it down over here. You graffiti everything over here, but you don't go home and do none of that in your suburban communities.
Facts, yeah. They not going to try it. That's right.
So I did put out an action plan on Wednesday. Okay. I put out a We Demand 7-point program of what we want to see government, city, and state and local officials do to help end police misconduct and execution of unarmed innocent black men. Okay. So that 7-point plan is out there, and I'm hoping and praying that they would look at it. Nope. But remember, before God executes his enemies, he always gives you a chance to repent and reform. Okay. But if you choose not to repent, you choose not to reform, well, then the wrath and judgment of God is at hand.
That's right. Well, I'd like to present that 7-point plan that you have. I'd like to present that to my listeners, and I want to make that public, and I want to get everybody that I know, and I want everybody that they know to get behind that. And I'll give you my email address so you can send that to me. And if you want to share with the people where they can go view it, just let them know.
You can go to Quanell X, Farrakhan's Facebook page, or you can go to Quanell X official page, or you can go to @Brother Quanell X, my Instagram page, and the 7-point program is there on all 3 social media sites for you to look at. And I'm asking you if you would be so polite and so kind to share it as much as possible, because everybody across the country has been protesting. And they've been burning things up, but I think that we're the first to put forth a plan.
Right.
A program. Right. To make some serious change within these police departments. Some of it is controversial. Some of it will be extreme to many. But this is an extreme problem that needs an extreme answer to fix, and to take this situation that is so damaged to bridge toward the era of repair.
Well, you have that give me liberty or give me debt spirit that needs to be in all black people if you want to be free. So when you put a point program together, it's not controversial. It's the steps needed to be taken so we don't keep revisiting the same incidents over and over again. White folks didn't tell the Brits, look here, we going to hold hands and sing We Shall Overcome and whatnot. Right. They said, hey, you give me liberty, give me death, or you won't have no peace and we don't have no justice.
That's right.
And they showed us what to do because that's the only thing they respect.
That's true.
They call you weak.
That is their nature.
That's right. It's in their nature. They don't recognize your way of fighting. They recognize their way of fighting.
Right.
Man. So before we get out of here, Brother Quan, anything you'd like to add and share with the people, and brother, trust me, I appreciate your time. But anything you'd like to share before we get out of here?
The last thing I want to say, if there's anyone interested in joining the Black Army of the New Black Panther Nation, the Black Army that is designed and produced to defend the best interests of Black people against police brutality and abuse of cops, but also to help us fight the internal violence of Black people against other Black people. Please come and help me join this army. Mobilize it, build it, grow it, develop it, so that we can have a real institution on the ground level that's mobilized, well-trained, and disciplined. That is the army of God for Black people. And if you want to join the New Black Panther Nation, please call us at 713-221-3200. Once again, 713-221-3200. Or go to one of my Facebook pages. Leave your information and a good contact number. And one of the brothers or sisters will reach out to you quickly, because we are recruiting brothers and sisters night and day for the real war that is to come.
Come on. And we cannot go back to the way things used to be, to go along, to get along. It's a new day. We need a new mind. We need a new spirit. We need a renewing of the mind in this time. We appreciate you, Brother
Thank
Quanell.
you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for having me as I leave in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum and the words of the Black liberation struggle. Black power, brother.
Walaikum salam, sir.